What's the detergent made?
Like a cleaner, like a really intensive, nice chemical smell.
All right. Jess, a fairly dominant performance out there today. Just talk us through how it felt out there and what you were most pleased with.
Thought I played really solid today. Served really well. You know, kind of did exactly what I wanted to do. I felt like my game plan worked really well, and you know, what I thought was going to happen kind of happened. So it's always nice when you're kind of, you know, right about the strategy and you're able to execute what you need to. Makes your life a lot easier. So I'm happy with today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who would like the first question? Someone's got to ask a question, guys, or why am I here?
I had a random question, sir.
Okay.
One of the unique aspects of tennis is that you share a locker room with your rivals and your competitors. I know it's like something that's normal to you, but is that ever like awkward or strange, whether it's, you know, the person like before or after a match with the person you're playing, or I don't know, you come in and you see someone in tears in the locker room?
It's definitely it definitely can be tense. Not in a bad way, but just, you know, you come off the court, maybe you just played someone, there's a lot of emotions, you're upset, they're upset, or you just see another girl come off from a crazy match and she's really upset. It is a weird dynamic. I think that's, you know, special a little bit to tennis, that you could be changing and getting ready right next to the person that you're playing or that you lost to or that you beat. And I think we all have a good awareness. You know, we just don't like to get in each other's way too much, if that's the case. But it can be a little tense and a little awkward at times.
Did you ever find yourself just avoiding eye contact with people in certain situations?
Yeah, I just try to, I just try to stay in my lane. It depends. If you know the person really well and you can't avoid each other, you know, you're probably on the same schedule and you're maybe right next to them. It's, you know, you can small talk and stuff like that. I think it just kind of depends on who it is and what your relationship with them is. But, you know, I never try to go out of my way too much to, I don't know, make it a huge deal. I think sometimes when you have your match, you just like to stay in your lane a little bit and, keep to yourself.
Matt, and then Matt.
Can I ask you how difficult yesterday was?
Yeah, yesterday sucked. Not gonna lie, I was not happy. Not a happy camper. Tough game, tough loss. How we lost was also, you know, it just was like a stab in the heart kind of situation. It just wasn't fun. Yeah.
Seriously though, do you have to be careful about like letting that affect this in any way? I don't know whether you were hitting after the game.
I was actually practicing during and from 11 to 12. So actually I practiced with an earbud in and had the stream on my phone so I could just at least hear what was going on, because it was like pretty much to the end, right before we went into the overtime, and then the game pretty much ended. So it was a important part of the game. I don't know why my coach booked practice that time. That was his fault. But it was the only time we could get a court. So it doesn't affect me when I'm out there on court, but you do get like a little fired up, because it's like you're like, how, you know, you're upset about the loss, maybe some of the calls, how we played. Then you see the Broncos quarterback is out for, you know, the rest of the season for sure, getting surgery, and you're like, oh my gosh, that could have been us. Like, there's a lot of emotions, I think, that run hot, especially with my family when we're texting and calling each other and, you know, stuff like that. But, when it comes match day, you kind of forget about all that. I have other things to kind of focus on.
Okay.
I have a question about the memory of the tennis player, because Sasha Zverev, he said he remember playing against the guy who won the 1 million point at 14 years old. Are you played thousands and thousands of matches? Are you the kind of player who remember absolutely every single match you played, or sometimes you erase some of them?
No, I definitely don't remember a lot of them. There are people like that remember like exactly what happened. Half the time I'm like, I didn't even know I played them. So I think I kind of tend to just let things go pretty quickly. I mean, there are some more memorable stuff, but I think have to be reminded. Yeah.
Go. Yeah.
Scheduled to play Kessler McCartney next. Just your thoughts on playing her, in the second round.
Really tough second round. I'm not really quite sure how she's not seeded, but I think she just missed that. But really tough second round, playing against an American, playing against a girl I'm playing doubles with here. So there's just a lot of dynamics. But she's a great girl. I know her team really well, her husband and her brother. And my coach actually used to coach her brother at the University of Florida. So there's a little bit of a connection there. So it's kind of a shame that we have to play each other second round, but she's a really good player, unbelievable competitor, hits a pretty big ball and is really dangerous. So going to have to do my best to kind of use my experience and, try and come up with a game plan. We played a tight 2 sets in the Austin final last year, but it was super windy conditions, and it was kind of one of those like ugly matches that I felt I won, but it was kind of the weather was causing a lot of issues, and we haven't really played, in a true conditions kind of straight up. So, it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Okay, Matt, and then Tumani. Yeah. Matt?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You mentioned that you're playing doubles with her. You had sort of like taken a little downtime from doubles in the last year or so, right?
Yeah, I haven't really played.
So like, is that something you plan on doing more of this year, and why?
I think so, a little bit more. I don't know. I kind of miss playing. Like, I like being in that competitive mindset. I'm not going to play as much as I did, like, when Coco and I were playing, like, every single week, singles and doubles. But I do think when I'm feeling up to it, that I want to play a little bit. And I think it's fun. I enjoy competing. I think it made me a better tennis player. I think there's stuff I can work on. I think sometimes at longer events, especially 2-week events, it's kind of keeps me mentally still there, especially if singles doesn't go that well and the weeks get really long and, you're just kind of out there practicing. I would much rather be practicing and working on things, but competing, at the same time. So for me, I think I'm going to play a little bit more than I did last year, but we'll just kind of see how it goes.
Will you have a consistent partner, you think, or are you going to,
since I'm not really, if I'm not really sure, I think it's going to be just me kind of finding people to sign, on site with. And I think McCartney and I wanted to play Brisbane, and we didn't get in. So we were supposed to play Brisbane and here and kind of see how it goes. So we'll see how we play together here, and then maybe we'll play a little bit more. I'm not sure.
Okay, last one, Tumani.
You're obviously a player who likes to step inside the court, take the ball early. I'm curious, just like to hear in your words, like the importance of court positioning and kind of staying up on and inside the baseline and the challenge of that as well.
That's something I've worked on a lot over the last 6 months is my court positioning, my spacing. It's one thing to take the ball early, but you also have to judge like how their ball is coming at you. Sometimes you can't take it early. Sometimes you can, but you can give yourself more space. Sometimes you need to cut off the angle more. Sometimes you need to hold your ground, and you're trying to make all these decisions as the ball's kind of coming really fast at you. And, your opponent's also trying to do different things to you to kind of get you off of that timing. So it's something I've worked on a lot. I've worked a lot on my footwork and my positioning and my spacing on the court. And it's something I think that is one of my kind of skills that I do really well, maybe more than other players. And so I've just definitely worked on that and tried to kind of get even better at that and make it more of a weapon. But it's very important. I think your court position is kind of everything. Being able to see where your opponent is as well based on, what shot you're hitting. If you see them really far back in the court, trying to get them to move up. Sometimes those are things you don't notice that much when you're playing until maybe your coach mentions it, or for whatever reason you realize it and you realize, oh my gosh, your opponent's also really far behind the baseline. Like maybe you should try and bring them in, or vice versa. So it's very important, I would say, the court positioning and your awareness of not just where you are, but also where your opponent is, and then being able to change that throughout a game or a point is, definitely a big part of my game.
All right, thank you.
Yep.